tiny silver button, left on someone's doorstep. No note, no explanation, just one question. Who put it there? Imagine opening your front door one quiet morning and finding a small shiny object waiting outside. Not money, not trash, almost as if someone deliberately left you a gift. You look around. No one is there, except a single crow watching silently from a nearby tree. Coincidence? Or something far stranger? For years, people around the world have reported crows
to anything
leaving
that
tiny
shines.
objects for humans. Buttons, coins, marbles, pieces of jewelry, even shiny keys. But why? Do crows actually bring gifts? Can they remember people and reward kindness? Or are we simply misunderstanding one of the smartest birds on Earth today? We're uncovering the surprising truth behind why crows sometimes leave mysterious objects for humans. And the answer is even more incredible than the stories themselves. At first, most people think it's just a coincidence. A shiny button appears near the front porch, a colorful marble beside the bird feeder, then a tiny metal ring. One strange object after another. Eventually, people begin noticing something else. Almost every time, a crow is nearby, watching quietly from a fence or a nearby tree. Stories like this have appeared all over the world. People who regularly feed neighborhood crows sometimes report finding small objects left behind. Buttons, beads, bottle caps, tiny pieces of polished metal. None of them are expensive, but they seem strangely intentional. So are crows actually bringing gifts? Or are humans simply finding meaning in random objects? To answer that, we first need to understand one incredible fact about crows. Long before a crow leaves anything behind, it has already been watching and remembering you. Long before a crow leaves anything behind, something else happens first. It remembers you. To most birds, a person is simply another human passing by. But crows are different. Scientists have discovered that crows can recognize individual human faces and remember them for years. Imagine feeding the same crow every morning, the same footsteps, the same voice, the same handful of peanuts. Day after day, the crow watches not just what you do, but how you behave. Do you chase birds, or do you quietly leave food behind and walk away? Slowly, the crow begins to learn. You're predictable, you're familiar, and most importantly, you're not a threat. But here's where the mystery begins. Once that trust is built, some crows start behaving in ways that seem almost impossible. One morning, instead of finding only footprints near the feeder, you notice something else. A small blue bead. The next week, a polished bottle cap. Then, a tiny silver charm. None of these objects have any value, at least not to us. Yet many people who regularly feed crows describe finding similar little treasures. Sometimes the objects appear exactly where food is normally left. Other times, they're placed on a porch, a garden path, or beside a bird bath. The crow never explains, simply arrives, drops the object, and flies away. It almost feels like a silent exchange. Food for something interesting. But are these really gifts, or are we seeing human emotions? In misunderstanding the behavior of a very intelligent bird? If you've noticed a pattern, you're not alone. Many reported crow gifts have one thing in common. They shine. Buttons, coins, glass beads, tiny pieces of metal. Bright objects naturally attract a crow's attention, not because crows are obsessed with treasure, as old stories often claim, but because they're incredibly curious. A crow investigates the world almost the way a scientist would, picking things up, turning them over, testing them, remembering where they were found. To a crow, a colorful marble may simply be another fascinating object worth collecting. And if that object later appears near a trusted human, the mystery only grows deeper. Here's the surprising truth. Scientists still don't know exactly why some crows leave objects for humans. There isn't one proven answer. One possibility is that the objects aren't gifts at all. Perhaps the crow simply dropped them while exploring. Another idea is that crows sometimes exchange interesting objects as part of their social behavior, and a trusted human becomes part of that routine. Some researchers believe repeated feeding creates a unique relationship, not friendship, at least not in the human sense, but familiarity. A crow begins connecting one person with safety, food, consistency. Over time, its behavior changes. Exactly why remains one of the biggest unanswered questions in bird behavior. Whether the objects are intentional or not, they reveal something remarkable. Crows possess extraordinary intelligence. They solve puzzles, recognize faces, remember places, use tools, and even plan ahead. Some crows secretly move hidden food only after making sure no other crow is watching. Others learn by observing without making a single mistake themselves. Every new discovery changes the way scientists think about bird intelligence. The more we study crows, the less ordinary they become. Perhaps the greatest surprise isn't that they sometimes leave objects behind. It's that they understand far more about us than we ever expected. So, why do crows bring gifts to humans? The honest answer is that no one knows for certain. Some objects may simply be dropped by accident. Others may reflect curiosity. Some may be part of a behavior that scientists are only beginning to understand. But one fact is impossible to ignore. Before a crow leaves anything behind, it has already been watching, listening, learning, remembering. The tiny silver button was never the biggest mystery. The real mystery was the brilliant mind that chose to leave it there. The next time you see a crow quietly watching from a nearby fence, remember, you may think you're observing the bird, but there's a very good chance the bird has been observing you for much longer. If you love uncovering the hidden mysteries of birds and wildlife, subscribe for more incredible stories from the natural world, because sometimes nature's greatest secrets arrive without a sound, on black wings.